Not every offer is going to be equal, and not every seller as focused as much on the actual sales price as they are on what they're going to actually net at the end of the transaction. So what do I mean by that? Okay. You could offer a full list price on a home, but yet at the end of it, depending on what else is made up in that offer contract, could potentially end up being a risk to that seller that they could make less than somebody who offered less with little to no risk. Okay. So when you're looking at things like, it's not just your price, but now it comes down to, hey, I'm willing to give you this price and I'm going to have to finance it. So that means there's a risk that at the end of it, have you gone through the lending process, right? Even though you got a pre-approval letter that we would submit with an offer, the idea is it still needs to go through underwriting, and there's still a potential risk that you may not qualify for financing. Okay. Do you have a home to sell in that process? Because if you do, is it contingent upon that home selling in order for this to work? That means now at this point, not only am I worried about your financing as the seller, I'm not worried about just about the buyer's financing working, but that I'm also now worried about the idea that will the buyer's home sell? So knowing where we are, not to say that as a home buyer, you have a home to sell that could potentially disqualify. I think it just comes down to where are you at in the process? What's traffic? What's expectation? Maybe you're under contract. Maybe you're already through due diligence. Well, that lessens the risk for that seller. If at the end of it, I'm 2 weeks away from closing. And so at this point, like, we're ready to go. Great. But if I haven't even listed my home yet, it may not be something that a seller is willing to take on, because how long is it going to take them to get their house on the market? From there, that maybe we were on the market for 45 days. That means it's going to take another 45 days to get a contract. And then at that same point, it takes 30 to 45 days from that contract to close. So we could be under contract with these people for 90 days and maybe we're missing other buyers, right? So understanding that contingency, you could offer them $450,000 on a $425,000 house, and they may still reject the offer because it doesn't seem real that that's possible. Some sellers would take that, but it's basically measuring risk.